So here we go. Welcome back to another edition of Meet the Opposition. And today I'm joined by Jack from Under the Abbey Stand podcast, covering all things Cambridge United ahead of the big game this weekend at Portman Road in League One. Jack, first of all, thanks for joining me. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Top man. And, well, going to bring out the elephant in the room. Last season, we didn't beat Cambridge. 2-2 at the Abbey, then the 1-0 win for Cambridge at Portman Road. Let's recap so far, because people will know this on our podcast. I call Cambridge dark horses this year, and you guys doing pretty well. 5th in League One. What is the current mood currently? You know, must be very happy.
Yeah, the mood couldn't really be much better around the club at the moment. I mean, the key to the form this season has been the home form. We've won every game at home in the league, which is crucial at this level. And yeah, we're kind of struggling a bit more away, but really good at home and really solid. We've also just bought the ground. The land that the ground is on back, which is huge news for United, almost bigger than any signing or keeping any players really in the transfer window. So knowing that that's our home for the foreseeable future is just absolutely massive. And yeah, backing it up with good performances. There's been some convincing wins and some less convincing ones this season. But yeah, it's been a great start to the season. And yeah, if you'd showed me this at the start of the season, I would have bitten your hand off. Yeah, really happy position for Cambridge to be in.
Definitely, 5th in League One under Mark Bonner. Let's take a look at the last 5 games and talk about the key points. So a 2-0 win at home against Lincoln City last time out, a brace from Joe Ironside, then a 4-3, a 7-goal thriller at home against Burton. Of course, Sam Smith scoring the hat-trick, then a 1-1 draw with Charlton, then went to Pompey, 4-1 defeat, not what we want to see, but now 2-1 home win over Exeter. And as you said, home form at the Abbey, going really well, but away form, and of course you'll be going to Portman Road. So let's talk about those 5 games. Standout one is, of course, the 4-3 game against Burton. Of course, Burton, we've got Hadme, who scored in like the first 13 seconds against you guys. What's your thoughts on those last 5 games?
Yeah, I mean, the Burton one especially was the least convincing of the lot. Burton came in real trouble. They'd only scored in one game. They'd only picked up 1 point, and within 13 seconds we were behind. Then they went down to 10 men after 10 minutes, and then it seemed like that would be it. But then they just wouldn't lie down. At one point, it looked like Cambridge were trailing 3-2, and it looked kind of disastrous. But we just about pulled through it. It wasn't a convincing performance, but Sam Smith with a hat-trick and Liam O'Neill came on midway through the second half and really made the difference. So we showed a bit of strength and depth and a bit of grit that day. But yeah, good performances. I mean, the Charlton away performance, which is where we picked up the only point away from home this year, wasn't spectacular, but it was kind of workmanlike. And yeah, we deserved something from the game. And the Pompey 4-1 scoreline at Pompey is a bit flattering towards them. It was a really good game. And 1-1 up until the hour, and then we kind of folded after that. But it could have gone either way at 1-1 or even 2-1. And then, yeah, a bit of a meltdown from United there. But generally, performances have been good. And yeah, really encouraging performance last time out against Lincoln. When you play a team like that who came and scored 5 at the Abbey last season and beat them comfortably like that, is brilliant. I mean, Joe Ironside picked a really nasty head injury in the first few minutes of that game, got back up, got bandaged up, and then scored 2 in 3 minutes in the first half. And that was it. The second half was very underwhelming, but when you're winning 2-0, you don't really mind that. We just managed the game really well, and it's good to get a clean sheet as well. So, yeah, pretty impressed with United at home. And, yeah, Mark Bonner is doing a fantastic job.
He is indeed. And let's take a look at the last 11 against Lincoln City. And we've name-checked a lot of the players in this starting 11. Of course, Sam Smith, your top goal scorer, hat-trick against Burton. Joe Ironside, 2 goals against Lincoln City. Which other players should we look out for? But Sam Smith and Ironside are your main players. Of course, Paul Digby, a former Town player, is the skipper. But yeah, we know some of these players already because we played them last year. But who else should we look out for?
I think that, going somewhere like Portman Road is quite overfacing. It's a big ground against a big team. So Digby and May, that partnership in the middle is going to be quite important. They kind of hold, they fuse the team together. But yeah, we've got good centre-back pairing of Okadina and Jones. There is also the options potentially of Ibsen Rossi if he's fit. And Greg Taylor is coming back to fitness. But I'd be very surprised if Okadina and Jones don't play in the centre of defence. And yeah, Shiloh Tracy, who plays on the left-hand side of the 3 behind Joe Ironside, is a really quick, kind of exciting player. So certainly one to look out for if he starts on Saturday. And Bonner seems to be going with the kind of same starting 11. So I'd be surprised if he didn't go with this 11. I suppose it's just dependent on Ironside, how he's feeling after the head injury last weekend and any other kind of niggles. But I think otherwise, I'd be very surprised if it wasn't the starting 11 from last Saturday.
Indeed, I was being unprofessional there. I had my mic muted there, but we'll carry on. Let's talk about one man who will be returning to Portman Road. He was on the bench last season, but didn't come on. Jack Lancaster, of course, very well known at Town, coming through the academy. Family full of Town fans. He's played a few times this year. Also, he's got a few assists. How's he been getting on this year? And could we see him potentially come off the bench?
Yeah, so there was a lot of conversations about Jack Lancaster in pre-season from the pod and from fans in general. He didn't get much of a look in last season. You know, we picked him up and he was injured, so we had to wait for him to get match fit. He didn't ever quite get into the team. You know, there was quite a lot of people ahead of him with Smith and Nibbs dropping a bit deeper, and Houlihan obviously was still featuring at that point. And this season, he's started to feature a bit more from the bench. As you say, he's contributed with a couple of assists. He's just started to look like he can really kind of be a danger. I think we all are in the camp where we feel like Jack Lancaster needs a goal or a really big, inspiring performance. And I suppose that'll come from actually getting a start. But when you're playing well like we are at the moment, it's difficult for him to get into the team. So the impression he is making coming off the bench is really promising. But we feel like this is kind of a bit of a make or break season for Lancaster in a positive way mostly. But yeah, we feel like we need to get him. He needs to get more involved and be a bit more of a feature for Cambridge United. But yeah, obviously it's a long season, and you know, if anyone gets injured, he's waiting in the wings to kind of step up and take over. But I'd be surprised if we didn't see him on Saturday. He's really good impact from the bench, and offers something a bit different, and really good distribution. So he's a good person to bring on with kind of 25-30 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get a good reception because of his connection with Town, coming through the youth academy and all that jazz. Let's talk about what game we can expect. As I said last year, 2-2 draw at the Abbey, and then the 1-0 win. So of course, some Town fans still not happy about that. What game can we expect from Mark Bonner's side? Have you changed much in terms of style of play? Of course, Ironside's the big talking point because he's the one who's going to be up front scoring the goals as well as Sam Smith.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we were having a conversation about Joe Ironside before the match on Saturday, and we're wondering whether Sam Smith was going to kind of take over the mantle of goal scorer. But then, of course, Ironside stepped up with 2 on Saturday. I think we're fairly similar. It's kind of a kind of a 4-2-3-1, you know, with Ironside leading the line. We're quite versatile in how that moves about, and we when we play well, the ball usually comes from out wide. So it'll be quite similar, I think, to how it was last season. I think we're a bit better distribution-wise, especially from the back. It's not just lumping it forward anymore. There's a bit of sense in the balls being played. So I think we'll give you a game. It's kind of difficult to analyse this one, really, because obviously you guys have had such a good start and we've not quite got going away from home. So on paper, it really looks like it's going to be a struggle for United. But we always go and give people games away from home. Well, we're definitely up for this one. So I can see it being quite a tight game. And going either way, really, because I think United wants to get the bit between their teeth, can really make it hard for teams. I think the first 20 minutes of this game, the first 20 minutes of every game is so important, but this one especially, I feel like a good start from either team could govern who goes on to win it.
Indeed, yeah, it's going to be a massive crowd. You know, I think it's 25,000 sold for Portman Road so far, so it's going to be a great atmosphere. Right then, Jack, your thoughts overall? What are you going for prediction-wise? How you think the day is going to unfold?
Yeah, as I say, it's a really tough one, but I think kind of given the optimism that's around Cambridge at the moment, this probably doesn't sound that optimistic. I think I'm going to go for a 1-1. I think Ipswich will take the lead in the first half, but I think United will come back out second half. If we go in trailing at half time, Mark Bonner does something in the dressing room that definitely gets them going. So I think, we'll come out 1-0 down, but we'll get a goal back. It'll be a tight one. And I'll have to go for Joe Ironside to get the goal. He's back amongst the goals now, and he seems to play better when he's got like a bandage on his head. So a wounded Joe Ironside is a very dangerous player. So I'm going to go 1-0.
Okay, then 1-1. We shall see. Well, Jack, thanks for joining me. Any other business? Any other notes we should look out for?
If you ever want to listen to a Cambridge United pod, it's at Abbey Stand pod. But depending on the result, you might want to listen to next week's if you beat us 5-0.
Yes, definitely, mate. Definitely. Well, Jack, thanks for joining me. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And see you all at Portman Road. Bring it on. Bye-bye for now.